Hey friends, it's Stephanie with another early morning wreath making. I am actually going to be making a wreath with one of our exclusive signs from Festive Sign Club. So if you are a Festive Sign Club member, here's a suggestion on what you could do with this sign. It was actually one of my favorites, I think, that we've ever included in a box. Come on in and say hey. I know a lot of you guys will be watching the replay because it's early. Some of y'all aren't even out of bed yet. Can you believe that? Let me find my live so I can pull up any comments on Facebook. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am Stephanie Williams with Festive Creations by Stephanie, where I inspire people to be creative. I teach them how to make beautiful things. I also sell supplies to make those beautiful things. And I teach a very nice group of people how to grow their online business for those that are looking to make some profit off of your handmade designs. So come on in and say hey. What I'm going to be working with, as I said, is this exclusive sign from Festive Creations. Let me take it out of the wrapper so it doesn't reflect as much. And so if you're not familiar with Festive Sign Club, it is our subscription where you can get 5 new signs delivered to your doorstep every month, or actually I have an every other month option available. So this one has a lot of blue in it. It has some vibrant orange. It's actually got a little bit of pink and yellows. So I pulled from the main color and I've got some navy blue mesh. I'm going to actually be using 2 rolls of that. I pulled a ribbon combination with a golden yellow stripe and some navy blues. But I also pulled out some florals. Some suggestions that you could do with this is like the Color Fast sunflowers in blue complement that super well. Yellow complements that super well as this vibrant orange. So you could actually go with any of these colors to complement this particular sign if you wanted to add some additional color into this wreath. I also pulled out some pine because I'm going to make this more of a fall design. So it's going to be kind of fun. So I'm actually going to be using the orange sunflowers in here, and I'm going to be using some yellow filler and some of this pine on ours, but that's just some suggestions for that. So for this wreath, we're actually going to be using 2 rolls of mesh. It will not take the entire roll, but I'm going to cut both of them at the same time. So we're going to do, I think I took those out of inventory. We're going to do some 30-inch strips. All right, so for the mesh, we're going to need 30-inch strips, and we're going to need 18 of them total. So since I'm cutting 2 at a time, I'm going to do 9 cuts. 9 times 2, last time I checked, was 18. There's 2. I'm going to try not to spill my coffee. 3. And this is fun mesh. It's a border stripe mesh in navy blue. 4. And then, of course, my leftover mesh will go on my shelf because I'll be able to use that on a future project. All right, I've got my mesh cut. Let's get my sign ready. All right, so I've added some cable timeouts. I'm going to add some pipe cleaners so that we can add it to our wreath here shortly. but that will give the time for my DAP glue to set up while we are putting the ruffles. So I cut the 30-inch ruffles. Oops, that's not tight. And we will add those to our frame here next. So what I'm doing is on these 30-inch strips, I'm just curling up the ends of them. And I'm going to do like the cruffle method or woodland ruffle method, to where I curl in the ends. And then I'm going to ruffle just by walking up the center of this and creating a ruffle, just like that. And so when I do a ruffle, I always start on the outer rim of my wire frame, whether I'm using a Dollar Tree frame or one like this that already has the pencil ties on it, or the twist ties on it. And then I start on the outer frame. So this way, if I put it on the top frame, every time I go to add one on the bottom, I have to move it out of the way. So for me, it's more efficient to do it this way. Also, since I am using this same color mesh all throughout, one thing that I have found that helps make your mesh lay nicer, neater, it keeps it from bulking up, is I skip a twist tie. So like this next ruffle, I'm going to skip this twist tie and come over here. Then my next ruffle, I'll go back and lay on top of these two. So it helps it lay very nicely, evenly, all throughout the wreath. So let me show you now when we add our third one, and we'll put it in between there. So see how I put that on top of those two? And actually this one should have been laying down. So it helps them lay nicer when you skip one and then go back and then put one on top. Try it. If you, you'll actually be pleasantly surprised how that method works. All right, so again, I'm gonna skip one, skip this one, and jump over to the next outer one. All right, so I have finished all the outer edges, the outer rim on this wreath frame. So now I'm going to start on the top. So we have 8 more to do. And let me see. Let me give you a quick recap of what I've done so far. So I'm using one of our 15-inch work frames in yellow, and I used 2 rolls of mesh, 10-inch mesh, and I cut 18 strips 30 inches long. And I'm using the scruffle method. And we have done our wreath base. Check that out. How fun is that? So full. So it's a nice full wreath base. This particular wreath is going to have our sign that we had in this month's Festive Sign Club. So this was an exclusive sign made just for our members. So that is going to be one of our focal points. And I'm think I'm going to go smack dab, not quite in the center, but a little offset. So I'm going to kind of offset that off to the side because I'm thinking about my overall vision, what all is going to go on here. So I'm going to set that a little off to the side. And I won't need that twist tie because it's going to be covered up. Yeah. I think that will look awesome. Awesome sauce. So we're going to attach my sign. Of course, I want to feed the pipe cleaner through the weave of the mesh. I made the mistake a long time ago as a rookie. When I first started making races, I would move the mesh out of the way so I could get my pipe cleaner down there. And then, of course, that caused the mesh to separate. And it stayed separated permanently. You could never get it to lay evenly after that. All right, let me start there. And where do I want that one to go? There we go. This is an aluminum, a metal sign. It's actually a UV coated sign that we make, UV protected coated sign that we make here at Festive Creations. So for this one, I used the cable tie mounts and DAP rapid fuse glue is what I used on that one. Yep, I'm happy with that placement. And then I do have one more that I'm going to kind of stretch across here, and that will help anchor this part of it. And then before I get too carried away, I always go back and do the shake test, make sure that my sign is fitting snugly where I want it. Right now, there we go. I need to tighten that one up just a smidge. Behave, young man. Behave, little one. Oh yeah, that's nice and secure. So what I mean by the shake test is I can shake it around and it's not going to shift on me. Perfect. But because of that placement, I'm going to go ahead and pull those back out. Fun, fun, fun. All right, so there is our wreath with our sign added onto it. And right now, I'm actually going to stop. I'm going to set this guy up on the wall, and we're going to make a bow. We got ribbon to play with. And I will be using 3 ribbons. Do you have like a method, like do you typically find yourself repeating the same thing Nothing wrong with that. Like I'm a go-to. I like to work with 3 ribbons. Sometimes on a bow. Sometimes I'll go more. Sometimes I'll go with 1, depending on the look. But I do enjoy, I tend to use 3 more than anything else. Just wonder if you find that you have developed habits, preferences, to where you have a certain method when you make bows. And if you hand make bows, kudos to you. Okay, I got that in there super tight. Good for me. With our easy bow maker. Let me get that tightened down. And let's bring our wreath back down here and add a bow. Add a bow. What I learned with bow making is, number one, when I started buying better quality ribbon, my bows actually held up better. So I was able to shape my loops and they would keep their shape. There is a difference in quality. And of course, I use the Easy Bow Maker because we sell this in our shop and I love the bows that I can create with it. But I've also used several other bow makers over the years. And of course, I try to dabble with handmade bows. I just need to practice it more, that's all. Look at that bow with that sign. Isn't that fun? All right, let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to start with just the outer side of our frame. And I'm also going to use the yellow. Yellow, mellow yellow. So right here, I have my 13-inch strips. I'm just going to fold it in half, but you notice I'm using 2 on this particular tail. I'm going to pinch that together and I'm going to give it kind of a V shape. So then I'm going to take that and place it into my pencil tie. I'm going to push it down as close to the wreath frame as possible and give my pencil tie a good couple of twists. Even if you're using a Dollar Tree frame with pipe cleaner, this method is going to be the same. And then the other thing is, again, so quality of ribbon is going to determine how it hangs. So of course, all the ribbon I use is wired. So I can actually take and run my fingers, go from the base and kind of run my fingers along there and get it to take shape. And so I will intentionally put, in this case, like put 2 facing down and 2 off to the side. If I were working with 3, I would just do an additional and kind of layer them in a 3-way. In this case, I kind of want them close to each other, but it will hold its shape very nicely. just with the ribbon that we're using. Maybe that will help. So this is, we just did tails all the way around the outer edge. I think I am going to go ahead and add tails to the top, but I'm going to switch them up a little bit. And we're going to add some of this navy blue Swiss dot in there. Oh my goodness. This wreath, I actually have my glue pot warmed up over here because this wreath is also going to get some additional fun stuff to it. So it's actually going to be very full. All right, here's where we're at so far. And honestly, it looks marvelous just where it is, but I'm going to take it up a notch. I'm going to take it up a notch because I'm going to show you how adding some of these florals in here can transition this to a whole new level. I wish I could remember if I took those out of inventory. So we're actually going to be using some of this pine, some of this yellow filler, and these orange sunflowers. Love, love, love. So I'm going to start by dissecting. And I want to do a combo. So I want to take a piece of my pine. This mixed Georgia pine spray is a lot of fun. And I want to integrate this into my design. Let me see. Let me do this and then I'll show you. So I'm going to use the twist tie with my ribbon tails here. And I'm going to use the twist tie to help secure this. And this first one, I'm actually going to put underneath the bow. Now, I will go back. In fact, I need to probably plug this in. Did I plug it in? I am going to go back and add some hot glue for some extra support. Good morning, Miss Vanessa. It's coffee time. Let me zoom in there. So see how just adding that one flower now is giving me some beautiful contrast. This mixed Georgia pine spray actually has a pine cone in it. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the pine cone or not. We'll see. There. There. I'm just going to stack those two together. And now I'm going to come over to this side and add them on this side of the bow. that to be a little tighter, so let me move that. Look how already, so look how already adding those vibrant orange in there is kind of framing out that bow. And we're going to add some of this yellow filler. And definitely some glue in that. And I'm going to go right underneath that bow. Try to stick it into the weave of the mesh. I love it. So I'm going to add some more of these. Definitely like the vibrant orange sunflowers in here. It's really making it pop. Y'all, this is where I need to hang it on the wall and take a step back. And let me see what else I want to add to it. Also, I just saw a notification my battery's going dead. So let me plug my iPad into some power, Scotty. Some power, Scotty. This is where I go on the other side. It's crooked, but oh no. Oh my holiness. I don't even think I need anything else. Maybe right up there. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Ignore the fact that it's crooked. Right up here. That's where I think it needs a little something, something. Let me go back over there now that I have it straight, because you know my eyeballs. But I feel like just a little spot, or maybe, you know what, maybe even instead of there, I still feel like it needs something. It's unbalanced. That's what I'm looking at, is the unbalanced. So I have the orange sunflowers coming around here. So I feel like it's unbalanced. It needs something else between that sunflower. I don't know if you all can see me or not. That sunflower and that sunflower, but also maybe right behind the bow. I'm on it. I'm on it. Here's my vision. Watch what happens. So I feel like it needs something right in here. And I'm just going to stick that there for a moment. to help balance it out. Ugh, just somewhere in there. You'll get the idea. And I feel like right back in here. Did that balance it out better? Let's see. I think it did. I truly do. So I'm going to actually add those two. And you choose. Don't forget to visit afestivesign.com. I'm going to go deal with taxes now. It's 9 o'clock. Yay. My accountant will kill me if I don't have these done. So I'm going to go deal with that. You're welcome, Lynn. You all have a great hump day. Talk to you soon.